All right, so artificial intelligence, it's everywhere, right? We're swimming in headlines, articles, predictions, and it feels like every day there's some new breakthrough or controversy.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up, and it's easy to get caught up in the hype.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, we're going to cut through all that noise
We're going to try to.
and give you a clear picture of AI as it stands today.
Not just the what ifs and the sci-fi stuff.
Right. What's actually happening? What are the real world implications? And why should you care?
We've got some great sources to work with: breaking news, in-depth analysis of AI's strengths and weaknesses, even some predictions for the next decade.
A lot to unpack. So let's start with the basics. What are the core technologies that AI is already impacting?
Well, think about the things you interact with every day: your phone, your car, even your thermostat.
Okay, I'm with you.
Chances are AI is playing a role in all of them. Fields like computer vision, natural language processing, big data analysis, robotics, they're all being transformed by AI.
Can you give us a specific example, something people can really grasp?
Sure, take self-driving cars.
Okay.
They rely heavily on computer vision to see the world around them, interpret traffic signs, navigate safely.
So AI is literally making decisions in real time, with potentially life or death consequences.
Exactly. And it's not just cars.
Yeah.
Think about those chatbots that pop up on websites.
Yeah, everyone's talking about those.
They're powered by natural language processing, another area where AI is making huge strides. They can understand and respond to human language.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is, and it opens up a whole world of possibilities for communication, customer service, even education.
Okay, but let's be real. AI isn't a magic bullet. You've given us some articles that highlight the limitations as well.
Right, like this one from Analytics Insight, Top 10 Limitations of Artificial Intelligence.
Catchy title. I think a lot of people wonder, if AI is so great, why isn't it solving all our problems already?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And this article does a great job of laying out some of the real challenges that researchers and developers are grappling with.
Like what? Give us the top, 3.
Okay, well, data bias is a big one.
Data bias.
Yeah, basically AI algorithms learn from the data they're fed. And if that data reflects existing biases, societal biases, historical inequalities,
Okay, I'm starting to see the problem.
then the AI will inherit those biases.
Mm-hmm.
And that can lead to some really unfair or even dangerous outcomes.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. The article mentions biased outcomes in healthcare, criminal justice, even finance. Like an AI system used to determine loan eligibility could end up discriminating against certain groups of people simply because of the data it was trained on.
Wow, okay, so data bias is a big hurdle. What else?
Another major challenge is the lack of interpretability.
Interpretability.
Basically, it's the black box problem. Even the creators of an AI don't always fully understand how it arrives at its decisions.
So you might have an AI that's really good at predicting things, but you don't know why it's making those predictions.
Exactly. And that can be a problem, especially in areas like healthcare or finance where there are high stakes.
Yeah, I can see that. If an AI is making decisions that affect people's lives, we need to be able to understand its reasoning, right?
Absolutely. And without that transparency, it's hard to trust the system, even if it's performing well.
So data bias and the black box problem. What's the third limitation?
Security vulnerabilities.
Okay, that was a bit more obvious, I guess.
Maybe, but it's no less important. AI systems are complex, interconnected, and that makes them vulnerable to attacks, hacks, manipulations.
And those attacks could have serious consequences. Think about an AI controlling a power grid or a self-driving car. What happens if someone hacks into that system?
It's a scary thought.
It is. So cybersecurity is obviously crucial in the world of AI.
Absolutely. And it's an ongoing challenge. We need to ensure that these systems are robust, resilient, and protected from malicious actors.
So we've talked about some of the core technologies being impacted by AI, but also some of the limitations that are holding it back.
It's a mixed bag for sure.
It is, but I think it's important to understand both sides of the coin, the potential and the pitfalls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do here, give you a balanced perspective.
Okay, so now that we have a good grasp of AI today, let's turn our attention to the future. What can we expect from AI in the next decade?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
The future of AI, it really feels like we're on the edge of something big.
Oh, absolutely. The pace of innovation is incredible.
You've given us some articles that offer a glimpse into that future. What are some of the advancements that have you most excited?
One area that's really captured my imagination is the concept of neuroplasticity in AI.
Neuroplasticity, like the brain's ability to adapt and change.
Exactly. Researchers are working on creating AI systems that can continuously learn and adapt, just like our brains do.
So instead of being programmed with a fixed set of rules, these AI systems would be able to evolve and change over time, becoming more intelligent and capable as they encounter new information.
That's the idea. Imagine an AI system that can learn from its mistakes, adjust its strategies, even develop new ways of thinking, all without human intervention.
That's pretty mind-blowing. What are some of the approaches being explored to achieve this kind of neuroplasticity in AI?
One promising avenue is the development of liquid neural networks.
Liquid neural networks.
Yeah. Unlike traditional neural networks, which have a fixed architecture, liquid networks can adapt their structure and connections in response to new data.
So they're more flexible and dynamic, able to adjust to changing conditions.
Exactly. This makes them particularly well suited for applications like financial forecasting or weather prediction, where the data is constantly in flux and patterns are always evolving.
Can you give us an example of how a liquid neural network might be used in, say, financial forecasting?
Sure. Imagine a liquid network that's trained on historical stock market data. As new information comes in company earnings reports, economic indicators, even social media sentiment, the network can dynamically adjust its connections and weightings to incorporate this new knowledge. And that should theoretically improve the accuracy of its predictions over time.
It sounds like liquid networks could revolutionize the way we analyze complex systems and make predictions about the future. The Towards AI article also mentions another type of network, spiking neural networks. What's the story with those?
Spiking neural networks are incredibly interesting because they're inspired by the way neurons actually work in our brains.
So instead of transmitting information through continuous signals, these networks use discrete pulses or spikes, just like biological neurons.
Precisely. And what's remarkable is that this approach offers incredible energy efficiency. Spiking neural networks can perform complex tasks while using a fraction of the energy required by traditional neural networks.
That's a huge advantage, especially as we think about the growing energy demands of AI. Are there any real-world applications of spiking neural networks yet?
They're still in the early stages of development, but they hold great promise for applications where energy efficiency is paramount. Think mobile devices, robotics, even implantable medical devices.
Now, another concept that really caught my attention was quantum AI. It almost sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
It does, doesn't it? But quantum AI is a real field of research, and it has the potential to completely revolutionize the way we think about computation and artificial intelligence.
I have to admit, I'm a bit lost on this one. Can you break down what quantum AI is and why it's so significant?
Imagine a computer that can operate on the principles of quantum mechanics, leveraging phenomena like superposition and entanglement to perform calculations that are just impossible for classical computers.
Okay, I'm starting to get a headache just thinking about it. Can you give us a concrete example of how this quantum computing power could be applied to AI?
Absolutely. One of the biggest challenges in drug discovery is simulating how different molecules interact with each other. These simulations are incredibly complex, and even with the most powerful classical computers, they can take years, even decades to complete. But a quantum computer, it could potentially perform these simulations in a matter of hours or days.
So we're talking about dramatically accelerating the drug discovery process, potentially leading to faster development of new drugs, new materials, new energy sources.
Exactly. And it's not just about speed. Quantum AI could also allow us to solve problems that are currently intractable for classical computers, leading to breakthroughs in fields like cryptography, optimization, even machine learning itself.
It sounds like quantum AI has the potential to completely reshape our world. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about how AI might impact our everyday lives in the nearer term. The IBM article, The Future of AI, offers some intriguing insights into what we might expect by 2034.
It does. It paints this fascinating picture of a world where AI is seamlessly integrated into our homes, workplaces, interactions, making our lives easier, more efficient, more personalized.
One of the concepts they highlight is multimodal AI. Can you explain what that is and why it's significant?
Multimodal AI is all about creating systems that can understand and interact with us in a more human-like way, going beyond just text or voice. These systems will be able to process information from multiple sources, images, facial expressions, even body language.
So imagine talking to your AI assistant, and it not only understands your words, but also picks up on your tone of voice and facial expressions to get a more nuanced understanding of your meaning.
Exactly. Multimodal AI has the potential to create more natural, intuitive, and engaging interactions between humans and machines.
I can see how that would be transformative in so many areas. How might multimodal AI be used in healthcare, for example?
Imagine a doctor using a multimodal AI system to diagnose a patient. The system could analyze not only the patient's verbal description of their symptoms, but also their facial expressions, body language, even subtle changes in their vital signs.
Giving the doctor a more complete picture of the patient's condition, allowing them to make a more accurate diagnosis.
Right. And that could lead to more personalized and effective treatments.
The IBM article also discusses agentic AI. Can you remind us what that is and why it's important?
Agentic AI is about building systems that are composed of multiple specialized AI agents, each with its own unique skill set. These agents work together, communicating and collaborating to solve complex problems.
So instead of having one monolithic AI trying to do everything, you have a team of AI specialists working together, each contributing their expertise.
Exactly. Think of it like a team of human experts collaborating on a project. You have the engineer, the designer, the marketer, each bringing their unique skills to the table to create a successful outcome.
I like that analogy. Can you give us a real-world example of how agentic AI might be used?
Let's go back to the telecommunications company example from the IBM article. Imagine a customer calls in with a technical issue. Instead of having one AI chatbot try to handle the entire inquiry, which could be complex and time-consuming, the company could use an agentic AI system.
So how would that work in practice?
One AI agent might be responsible for greeting the customer and gathering basic information about their problem. Another agent might specialize in diagnosing technical issues, while yet another might be responsible for recommending solutions or scheduling a technician visit.
It sounds incredibly efficient. Each AI agent is doing what it does best, working together seamlessly to resolve the customer's issue quickly and effectively.
Precisely. And this approach can be applied to a wide range of industries and challenges, managing complex supply chains, developing personalized educational experiences, lots of possibilities.
It seems like agentic AI has the potential to significantly improve efficiency and problem solving across the board. Now, the IBM article also touches on a rather intriguing idea, AI moving into the C-suite, becoming a strategic partner for business leaders. What are your thoughts on that?
AI is already being used in various business functions, from automating tasks to providing insights from data. But as AI continues to evolve, it has the potential to play an even more strategic role, helping leaders make better decisions, identify new opportunities, navigate complex challenges.
So imagine having an AI advisor that can analyze massive amounts of data, identify trends, provide insights that would be impossible for a human to see.
Precisely. AI can process information at a scale and speed that humans simply can't match, allowing it to uncover hidden patterns, predict future trends, identify opportunities that might otherwise be missed.
That sounds incredibly valuable, but doesn't this raise questions about the role of human leadership? If AI is so good at making decisions, what's left for humans to do?
That's a valid concern, and it's one that we need to carefully consider. I don't believe AI will replace human leadership entirely, but it will undoubtedly change the nature of leadership.
In what ways?
Leaders of the future will need to be comfortable working alongside AI, understanding its capabilities and limitations, and knowing how to leverage its strengths to achieve their goals.
So it's not about AI versus humans, but rather about humans and AI working together effectively.
Exactly. It's about finding the right balance, leveraging the unique strengths of both to make better decisions, solve complex problems, and create a more prosperous future.
The future of AI is certainly looking exciting, but it also raises some important questions about the role of humans in an increasingly AI-driven world. Let's dive into those societal impacts next. Okay, so we've talked about all this amazing potential, the future of AI, quantum computers, all this stuff, but how's it going to affect people's everyday lives?
Yeah, I think that's the question on everyone's mind.
Exactly. Jobs, ethics, even just our relationship with technology, it's all going to change.
For sure. And honestly, some of those changes are already happening.
Right. So let's talk about jobs first. I think a lot of people are worried about AI taking away jobs.
I get that it's a valid concern, and the IBM article actually addresses that pretty directly. AI-driven automation will lead to job losses in certain sectors.
No sugarcoating it, huh?
Not really. But it's important to remember that technology has always disrupted the job market.
Okay, so what you're saying is throughout history, whenever we've had big tech advancements, some jobs disappear, but new ones are created.
Exactly. Think about the Industrial Revolution, the printing press, the internet itself.
Okay, I see your point. So with AI, yeah, some jobs will go away, but new ones will emerge. What kind of new jobs?
Well, obviously, anything related to AI development, data science, all that. But it's not just about coding.
What else then?
Think about the skills that AI can't replicate. Creativity, problem solving, critical thinking. Those are going to be even more valuable in an AI-driven world.
Those human skills.
Exactly.
The Towards AI article talked about some interesting initiatives like Massacane and Unmute Tech. What are those all about?
Yeah, these are groups that are really trying to make AI more inclusive.
In what way?
They're involving communities in the development of AI, gathering data, training models. It's about making sure AI reflects the diversity of human languages and cultures.
Okay, so it's not just tech companies building AI in a vacuum.
Right. It's about making sure everyone has a voice in shaping this technology.
I like that. All right, so jobs. What about all the stuff we're hearing about deep fakes and misinformation?
Big problem. The IBM article talked about how easy it is to create fake content now using AI.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, right? Like you can't even trust what you see or hear anymore.
Exactly. And that has huge implications for, well, everything. Trust in institutions, democracy, even just our sense of reality.
So how do we fight that?
It's got to be a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah.
We need better tech for detecting deepfakes.
Okay.
But also, people need to be more media literate. We got to learn to be more critical of what we see online.
And what about the environmental impact of all this? We've talked about the energy it takes to train these huge AI models.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern. But the Towards AI article also highlighted the potential for AI to be part of the solution to climate change.
How so?
Well, AI can be used to optimize energy grids, develop renewable energy sources, monitor environmental changes. There's a lot of potential there.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Not at all. But it's on us to make sure we're developing and using AI responsibly, ethically, with the planet in mind.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
Self-driving cars, quantum computers, the future of work, ethics. It's a lot. But I think the big takeaway for me is that AI is not just some futuristic fantasy.
Right.
It's here, it's now, and it's changing our world in ways we're only just beginning to understand.
And it's only going to get more intense from here on out.
Exactly. And that's why we need to keep having these conversations, learning about AI, asking tough questions. We can't just leave it to the tech companies or the governments to figure it all out.
Absolutely not. This is something that affects all of us.
So as you go out there and continue your own exploration of AI, just remember, there are still so many unanswered questions. Like the big one, consciousness.
Yeah.
Will these AI systems ever become truly conscious? What would that even mean?
It's a fascinating question.
It is, and as AI gets more powerful, more sophisticated, it's a question we're going to have to grapple with. But for now, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.